Hello, and welcome to JLG's Top 5. Yeah, you read the title. The Legend of Zelda series is one of my favorite single-player adventures I ever embarked, and The Wind Waker is no exception. In fact, it just happens to be one of the best. As much as we all want a new Zelda game, it doesn't hurt with an HD remake every now and then. HD remakes can really go both ways, but when it succeeds, it's goddamn beautiful. It worked for Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, and it sure as hell worked for the newly released Wind Waker HD on Wii U. But let's face it, even back on GameCube the game looked great. So what I was looking forward to was not the actual HD part, because to be honest, I'm not too big on graphics. Why this version is superior in my opinion is the overall improvement of gameplay. There has been a number of changes scaling from minor to major, anything from Link not having to stop in order to turn while swinging on the grappling hook, to changing the Triforce Charge quest. So I'm going to list out my 5 favorite changes and additions. Here we go! Oh no wait, that's Mario. Or Mickey Mouse, I don't fucking know. Number 5. I had a lot of potential candidates for the number 5 spot, like the starting wallet, which holds 500 rupees instead of 99, the improved aiming for the cannon and landing for the Deku Leaf, and last but not least, the less tedious Triforce quest. But ultimately, I decided to go with the hero mode. After completing Skyward Sword, you can choose to start over on hero mode, which basically makes it a lot harder. Enemies dealt twice the much damage, and hearts didn't drop from pots, enemies or anything. Well, in Wind Waker HD you can choose this option from the very start, and even toggle it on and off whenever you feel like. Let's face it, besides the puzzles, the 3D Zelda games doesn't hold too much challenge. But this truly changes everything. It truly makes every enemy encounter matter, as you have to be cautious and think situations through. Now don't panic, there is a way to regain health. You can buy potions and find fairies, but you only have 4 bottles. And every now and then you use bottles for different situations, like the forest water quest. So it won't be as easy as it sounds. Hero mode rocks. Number 4. I didn't really have a problem with sailing before, but there is no denying that the Swift Sail has improved traveling vastly. It's not really the speed that saves you time, it's how you're no longer reliant to the direction of the wind. Some people might have a problem with this, because the Wind Waker suddenly becomes less significant. But come on, you're still using it for other situations. I never liked having to stop and change the wind direction every other minute. It felt like such a bother. And speaking of the Wind Waker, after being learned the first time, the pre-animated version of Wind Waker melodies is only queued the first time the song is played since loading the game. Yeah, so if you're in a situation where you have to use the Wind Waker a lot, like changing the wind or taking control of medley, you don't have to watch the little animation every time, which saves a lot of time. So don't hate on the Swift Sail, it's a great addition. And alongside the changes to the Wind Waker, traveling has generally been improved. Oh, and also, you don't get knocked out of your boat from taking damage. That's worth mentioning. Number 3. As I said, the Zelda series is a great single-player adventure, and I couldn't really see it turning into multiplayer. Well, unless it's something like Four Swords. But hey, we've already seen some form of cooperation. Remember the Tingle Tuner? So sharing the Zelda universe might not be such a bad idea after all. And what did Wind Waker HD do with that? Tingle bottles and the integration of Miiverse. Instead of the tuner, Tingle gives you bottles, which you can throw out anywhere for other players to find. You know, sort of like message in a bottle. This is a great way to connect the Zelda community. You can give hints, roleplay, and last but not least, using the Pictobox, take pictographs and show them. You can even take selfies and change the expressions on Link's face. This makes me want to wish that I experienced this game for the first time. Imagine not having played this game before, and find a bottle containing an image of a boss, an island, or anything else you haven't seen, and just feel the greatest urge for adventure. You just want to sail out there and find that island. Please include something similar to the upcoming Zelda, it's such an awesome addition. Well, as a veteran, it was still fun to see what newcomers wrote. Messages like, Day 14, I'm out of hearts and no islands in sight. Yeah, you get my point. I'm looking forward to see what other madness Nintendo comes up with to unify the Zelda community. Number 2. Back on GameCube, I didn't care about saving Zelda. My biggest objective was the Nintendo Gallery. You acquire a Pictobox to take snapshots with, and by giving the pictures to Karlov near Forest Haven, he'll make a sculpture out of it. Finishing that gallery by acquiring a sculpture of every character and enemy in the game was my biggest incentive, but my god was it tedious. The Pictobox only held 3 pictographs at a time, and there was no way to be sure if the photo would be accepted or not. Well, fret not, my fellow sculptornatics, the Pictobox has been vastly improved. It now holds 12 pictures at the time, and you'll see an approval rating in the top right corner to see if Carlo will accept it or not. Let's take Cyclos as an example. Let's say you took a picture, defeated him, showed the picture to Karlov and got turned down. You know what this means? you've lost the quest. You have to start it all over because you only get one chance at doing this. Oh, well, unless you decide not to defeat him until you are 100% sure, of course. But regardless, in this version, you don't have to worry about that. You can also help others out by uploading them to Miiverse by using the tingle bottles. People can actually use your uploaded photos to finish the Nintendo Gallery. Yet another great multiplayer edition. Anyway, I never managed to complete it as a kid, so I'm really looking forward to see what's gonna happen. It's not like I expect something great or anything, I just want to get it over with. It truly has been my main objective for all these years. After all this, I can finally rest in peace. Number 1. You all know by now that my favorite aspect of a game is the gameplay, so obviously my favorite addition is the gamepad and everything that comes with it. The gyroscope, the item management, the map, just everything is so much more convenient. This means you never have to pause again, everything is down there, right on the gamepad. Unless you're not using the TV, of course, which also works well. I'm glad they experienced with this in Ocarina of Time 3D. This really shows what 2 screens can do. A lot of people call it a gimmick, but come on! Just look at Nintendo Land, Pikmin 3 and Wind Waker HD. Nintendo has shown countless of times how good this gimmick is. Screw you, name callers, I don't like you. You're just like my chinchillas, just calling names. You should be ashamed. Well, that's all I have to say really. They did an excellent job remaking this game. A true masterpiece. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, you see that stuff under the video? You can type comments there. Maybe give some feedback, or you could compliment my shoes. I would like that. No, they're not untied if that's what you're thinking. Oh, and a like would be much appreciated. Oh, now if you would excuse me, I'm gonna play some Mario Party 2. Foreshadowing the upcoming video, could it be a video about Mass Effect 3? I don't think so!